Live from the Valley's News Channel. This is Channel 5 News at 10.
New at 10, a policy change for immigrant kids, making it easier for them to stay in the U.S., and it could impact tens of thousands of children. Here's Channel 5's Kristen Von Pricey.
The policy for immigrant kids, minors who come here and argue that they're fleeing their homes because of abandonment or abuse, that policy is changing now. Working through the complex legal system of different courts that hear this kind of matter, immigrant kids trying to stay here will request either asylum status or status of special immigrant juvenile.
Special immigrant juvenile, I'm running from my home, from my parents, because I'm a child who abused me or abandoned me. So you got nowhere to send me. Immigration attorney Andre Major says it's a potential argument for the 210,000 kids who crossed the border from 2014 to 2017. These days, he says about half are being deported under Title 42, but the remaining half may ask for special immigrant juvenile status, which actually starts in front of a state court judge. The second step is asking immigration to recognize that state court decision. And once that happens, they will get protection from deportation, and they will ultimately be able to file for a green card unless they're convicted of something that disqualifies them. But it can take years to wait for that last step. And they were not getting employment authorization, and they were not necessarily getting protection from deportation. So the policy is saying, hey, if you had that state court order, and if it meets the appropriate requirements, we're going to give you protection from deportation, and we're going to get you employment authorization while you're waiting to file for your green card. The delay between the state court's decision and action by USCIS, he says, was causing a problem. In some cases, minors would become adults while they waited. Someone that files and then ages out, that's not right. It's not their fault that it's now taking 3, 4, or 5 years because USCIS is backlogged at a crisis level. The decision will allow more kids to stay in the U.S., but will it encourage more immigration? Major says minds are already made up. Can you imagine how bad circumstances have to be for you to send a 12 or a 13-year-old on their own through 3,000 plus miles to come to the United States for the hopes of a better tomorrow? And to think that because we made a change on our policies for special immigrant juvenile is going to somehow impact them? No. How protection from deportation will be enacted still has to be seen. The announcement was just made this week. Kristen Von Pricey, Channel 5 News.